common ground, the two first minutes. De Chiesa, do you know who's De Chiesa?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, De Chiesa was saying, if you don't see E in the first four slides, usually people get not interested. So try to start strong, something that can grab the attention of the audience. Everybody has his own style. I don't know if you ever listened to Jay Bowman. Have you ever listened to Jay Bowman? He's the one that usually is crazy for music. So he puts hard rock at the beginning of his presentations.
Vero?
Yeah. And he has, strange things inside. So the beginning was, you see, what is the guy doing? Okay? So everybody has his own style. You decide, but you start strong. You get the first 2 minutes, you have to start strong. Get the page, the people. Somebody else was putting naked.
Presenting naked.
Yeah. No, yeah, because somebody was, Peter Thomas. Peter K. Thomas. Everybody is using this instruments, right? He was showing naked ladies. And everybody was.
It's not original
Anymore. I know, but you have to get the audience in the first 2 minutes. Now, then you have to have something that is common, that everybody knows. If you get something that everybody knows, you get it. You get the people. Again, this could be a start. Okay. We all have a problem with herbs. And then I want to tell you how to solve it. It's just a phrase, but it's a good. Maybe it's telling something new. And you get their attention. So, what is the problem? We have a negative side effect. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that procreation already starts. Also, people that don't use herbs knows what is a procreation all over exercise. Then you have to think how to get to the main question. So, get the audience, common ground, you get your main question. You have to, you got the audience, you get through the common ground, get the attention, and you tell the main question. In other words, why your key idea is important. That is the key idea. The key idea. Get the key idea from your paper. And then you are still here. Something to be remembered. If you go in a meeting, how many things do you remember of one presentation? Have you ever tried to think about it? So you go to a meeting, the American Association of Orthodontists, in the US, you go to the Italian Society, you listen to 10 presentations. How many think you get for each presentation?
1, 2, maybe.
1, 2. So why you have to spend time to show everything when you know that the audience get 1, 2 things? So focus on that. You want the audience to remember this? Go ahead. This is what you want to know. And what is the most difficult thing is selecting the most important part that you want them to answer. Now, you're going to have paper to present. You have to select what is the most important thing. Because the most important thing that you have to tell the people is the most important thing for you to learn. Again, you start from what you think the people should get. It's not for you. It's not to show that you are good. It's not to show that your research is good. It's so you are representing, you want to communicate. And you know that you're not going to communicate 10,000 things. 1, 2 important things, period. So make sure that you remember that you have to focus on 1 or 2 points. Again, take home message. You want to, your work today will be to extract from your paper the take home message, the most important thing. Because you will be able, when you do a presentation, to get your main key point. And that is what you get and what you want to communicate. Again, what you want the people to remember. Your work today will be to recognize the key idea of each paper, of the paper that you are presenting. Because today, you're going to go through and you're going to work on theme. And on theme, you have to find the key idea or the take-home message, whatever you want. And you, out of this, you're going to be divided in group of 2, 3. Actually, it was going to be a group of 3. Then Giovanni and Salima is not here. Then Ludovic is not here, so some group will be 2. Okay? But make sure that you work on team. And you talk to the team and find out what is the main idea. And then prepare presentation on the main idea, to the take-home message. Again, one idea, the take-home message. Throw away all the rest. That is not important to communicate what you think is important. Once you have recognized the take-home message, it's the filter. You have to take everything else. It's not important. You have to focus on that, and then you have to present that. So when you have some material, it helps me to explain my take-home message, yes or no. Yes, I can put it. No, I take it out. Then, when you will end up with too much material. It's normal. You end up with too much material. It's normal. Then you have to do it again. Is it okay or is it not okay with take-home message? It happens to me regularly. That I put too much material. And I do presentation, I've done presentation the last 30 years. There's always too much. Something that, if you put something that you think is important, but deviate the attention to the take-home message, your audience will never remember the take-home message.
Could you repeat the last thing?
Hmm?
Could you repeat the last thing? Could you repeat the last thing like you say? Could you repeat the last thing like you say?
One more time.
Oh,
There is always too much material. And it's important that if you want to communicate something, if you put material that is not really focusing on this, the attention of the audience go to something else, and you can lose it. So try not to put, you have at one point that, I want you to understand that this is when you have 20-minute, 30-minute presentation, not one day. When you have one day, you have to do something different, but that is not important.
Occasionally a course. Occasionally
If you make a
not
course,
a presentation.
it's a completely different work. But still, you have something is still working. Now, again, always the same. We already said before. The main question has to be told before the take-home message. And in the middle should be what?
Money.
Money. So, if you remember this, you concentrate to the take-home message. Out of this, you make the presentation. Your main question is there, and in the middle there should be something that explains exactly what you want to say. I don't want you to please read it, if everybody can read it.
But I have a question. It could be that our take-home message is a result of our research.
Yeah.
And
But
how can
usually the result of research is not only one. So, and sometimes, like the example that I showed you, the take-home message is the fact that if you use tats with verbs, you can increase the mandibular growth. But there is something.
E non fare rumore che si sente tutto.
But the result of the research can be that you have to control the lower incisor, but the result of the research is that you have organic that goes forward. But maybe, one of the control of the incisor is not what you want to say as take-home message, but the result of the research is that you control the incisor. So you have to pay attention, focus on what you think is the most important thing. Now, when you do a presentation, there are something that you have to do and something that you try to avoid. That you have to avoid in any case. Let's face it, because as I told you before, you are not a natural speaker. Nobody's a natural speaker. You learn how to speak. So let's see what is something that you have to do and something that you don't have to do. Don't overload the slide.
Non caricare troppo. Andiamo al questo. Quello
Lo sapevo, do's and don'ts.
Da?
Quali sono le cose da fare e da non fare?
Ma va.
Qual è il tuo
Is it right?
That's
Siamo
cosa vuol dire?
select.
Do e don't. Ok?
C'è un rifuso.
Fare, non fare.
È solo
Questo è il plurale. Infatti io non lo metto mai così. L'avevo detto anche a sabato. Io normalmente faccio do maiuscolo e l'S minuscolo e don't maiuscolo e l'S minuscolo.
Ma si scrive così, no?
Ma non capisco.
No, un
cosa vuol dire.
rifuso.
Ma un refuso si scrive così.
Ah, no.
Ah, non è un rifuso, la fine va prima?
No.
Ah no.
Don't è così.
Ah,
Do
ok, sì.
and done. Ok?
Deve scrivere
Siccome è
plurale,
siccome è plurale
no.
è do's and don'ts. Ok? Tutti di do and done. Do and don't. Ok?
Cioè è americano, questa cosa, non penso che sia
No, lo dicono tutti.
inglese, o lo dicono
Lo dicono tutti.
No.
Almeno. Io lo sento un sacco di volte.
Ah, io
Ma tu è già plurale. Anche senza S è già plurale.
No,
Sarebbe.
Dai, è una frase.
Cosa sono le cose da fare e le cose da non fare. Ok? Comunque è corretto, lo mettono tutti così.
What you have to do and what you don't have to do.
Right. Ok? Ma è così, lo vedo per fatti.
Ma noi in italiano diciamo adesso spieghiamo
Fare,
brevemente
non
perché,
fare.
per esempio, cioè
Beh,
una ragazza.
This is not a verb anymore. Is a
Oh no.
it's not a word. It's not a verb anymore. It's
Oh, è no.
e quindi do
It's like
don't becomes do and don't. Okay. One message. Each slide, one message. I give you an example. Sabrina didn't follow this when she was presenting the slide 5, 6 lines. It's better not to do it. But don't overload the presentation. Don't use more than 4 lines per slides. 4 lines. Not more than 4 lines. Don't put strange formulas. The worst part, when people put like a graph and they try to explain during the presentation. You just cannot do it. The tables, they make tables with statistics, standard deviations, and they try to explain you that during a presentation. It's crazy. Don't do it. It's a do don'ts. It's a don't. Don't do that. Don't try to explain everything. There is one most important thing in the table. You take that out and show it. Now, this I made this forever. There are animation. You can put animation, but you have. Don't do it if you don't feel comfortable. Sometimes too many animation distract people from your point. So a presentation that is minimal sometimes is much better than a presentation which these slides that are full of things. Like I give you an example. 3 small things that have 3 small movies on the right side. And why? Why? Because if you have 3 small movies on the right side, you don't know what to follow, you are distracted, you don't follow none of them, and you don't get what the slide is going to tell you. But I allow everybody to make their own mistakes. But believe me, small. You want to make an animation? Do it. If you feel comfortable, and if you are sure that it doesn't distract the audience. And then again, before presenting, rehearsal. Okay? Because you have to be sure on what you're doing. Again. Finish on time. Finish on time. Is not only matter of politeness, is important. Finish 5 seconds before, but please finish on time. Finish before is really rude to finish late. There are people that finish 5 minutes, 10 minutes late. It's rude. It's not polite to the person that has to speak after you. It's not polite to the audience that is waiting you to finish on time. It's not polite at all. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Take out something. Don't say something but finish on time. Again. Don't put anything that doesn't help. You have to give a message. You don't have to show off. You're not showing off. You're not showing how good you are. You are just giving a message in the most straightforward, clean way you can do it. And that is not only when you present a scientific paper, it's also when you present a clinical paper. When you present a clinical paper, you present a case, or you present a technique. Don't show that you are good. Show what you are going to say. Finito.
Fammi ancora appena.
Vedici il ditino bagnato, sempre. No.
Io ne ho mangiato mezzo, qualcuno lo ha fatto.
Make sure that you don't put anything that will distract. Pictures are okay if they go to the point. Again, tell what you're going to say, tell what you have said. Again, you are there to give a message to the audience. You are not there to show off. So, tell what you're going to say, tell what you have said. So, recap at the end what you have done. You want to communicate something. So, the take-away message is what you want to communicate. This is the right way. Okay, now it's more understandable, right?
Yeah.
When I show, I usually do this way. Yes, easy. Again, you're not impressing anybody. Okay? You're not impressing anybody. You want to communicate. You don't want to show how good you are. You don't want to show how many things there are in the paper. You want to communicate a point, which is the take-home message. Period. Again. You want people to listen to you. If you go and show complicated issues, the audience is going to be lost. Nobody will follow you. Usually, when you are young, you're going to be put at the end or at the beginning. 5 o'clock in the afternoon. If you have to get the attention.
Or 6.
Or 6.
Yeah.
If you're lucky. But again, remember, you don't have to show how good you are. You just want to communicate. You want to educate. You don't show how good you are. Otherwise, you go to face, and then they are all good with Photoshop.
It's like psychology in any communication, I guess.
What?
I guess it's psychology in any communication.
Sure.
Don't show off, just
Yeah, but
try to understand.
sometimes you show off without wanting to show off.
Mhm.
So you show off because you think that your research is such good that you have to show how good it is your research. It's not you, it's the research. But you miss the point. Keep it simple. Follow the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay? Or in a better way is keep it simple, sir. But the original one was keep it simple, stupid. Okay? Now, if you have something really complicated, take it simple. Your grandmother should understand. I like the grandmother stuff. Your grandmother should understand. If a lay person should understand. Even the most expert in the audience will not follow you, make calculations, try and think, because you cannot think that people will be concentrated on your presentation 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Who was everybody was at the memorial? Everybody.
Yeah.
You remember that the first one was George Estrada, neurophysiologist. I remember he was speaking about he told me, Mauro, don't do more than 45 minutes lecture. You are sure that you lose 45 minutes because people can be focused for 45 minutes. After that, they are done. Now, if you present in a meeting and the meeting starts 9 o'clock and finish at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, people are tired, people want to go out and drink a coffee, and you want to communicate to them. So you have to get them, don't lose them, and give them information. So make sure that you remember that when put yourself on the other side. You remember many times you went to a lecture and said, Jesus Christ, why did I sit here? I'm embarrassed to go away. But you would like to go. When you think about that, that means that the speaker lost you. And you don't have to lose the people. So be simple. Keep everything simple. And repeat, repeat, repeat. In a different way, but repeat. Again, it's a journey. You really should take the audience to a journey. And you have really to be hand to hand and take the journey. Start from the common ground, you ask the question, you show the thing, you give the take-home message, and then you conclude your story. And it's hand to hand. It's a journey that your audience have to enjoy the journey. You are not showing that you are good. You are trying to educate. You are trying to give a message. And the best way of giving a message is telling a story. Never, ever, ever say, I'm sorry. Never. Ever. You have your presentation, you are proud of it. If there is something to be sorry of, you don't put in the presentation. I hate people that say, oh, I'm sorry for this picture is not focused. Say that. Take the fact picture out. Why you put it there? You present it. You rehearsal. You take it out. Is that important? If it's important, you make another one. Don't complain. Don't say, I don't have time to tell this. You rehearse. You have to give a message. Don't be sorry for the number of words in the slide. You made the slide. Take it out. Don't make a slide that you cannot read or people cannot read. You're making it. Make it better. It's not something that you come there, somebody pick you up and say you speak. You knew that months before. So, don't do it. Simply don't do it. Again, they will ask you questions. And that is the most important part. When you go and present something, you know what are your weak points. You know. And there is a good probability that somebody smart in the you find somebody smart in the audience. So be prepared. Ask yourself the worst questions and be prepared to answer. Be prepared to answer. Because they will ask you. They will ask you exactly the question you don't want them to ask. Unless the audience is not good. So be prepared. Be self-critical. And you're going to get the answer before. So think about what you're doing. Not only rehearsal. Think about it. Think about what I'm saying. What are the questions? What are the worst questions? Find the worst question that can be asked. And try to answer. Again, rehearsal. You have to know exactly what you say. You have to know exactly the time. That doesn't mean that you have to know by heart, which is the worst part that you can do. But you have to know what you're talking about. One more most important thing. Sometimes you have to speak, maybe in English, and then you are really afraid. There are two mistakes you don't have to do. First of all, you don't have to read. Second, you don't have to do by heart. You should know what you have inside, and that should come out. Why you don't have to read? Who's telling me? Why you
Because it's boring.
It is boring. You know why it's boring?
Because I can read it at home.
Why? But it's also boring because when you read, you maintain the same tone of voice. Otherwise, you are an actor. When you read, you maintain usually. If a normal person reads,
you can watch the audience.
you cannot watch the audience. But when you read, you maintain the same tone of
You are
voice.
not prepared.
Emotion.
You're not subverting the
And not only that, if you maintain the same tone of voice, you don't get the audience. Don't maintain the same tone of voice. The audience is going to sleep. You have to always make, and when there is something important, maybe rise the tone and explain what is important. But make sure that you rehearsal. You have to be sure that you stay on time. And when you rehearsal, you see that you're speaking too fast in order to say in time, take out something. Take out something. Another part very important. This is crucial because you have to be there before. You have to see that everything works. You have seen how I was myself embarrassed this morning. Nothing more. It was myself, not somebody else. Massimo. Sulla marcia facendo lezione. Posso Ok, Thomas. Il professor Ronchini vi saluta. Massimo Ronchini. You don't know.
Maria Chiara sperava fosse Massimo Bello, che ha provato la...
Ci ha provato un intervento.
No.
Massimo è un bel passione.
Sì.
Ok, no.
Perché vuole cecchine così tanto.
Hai fatto qualcuno? Cosa diceva il signor Monte?
Ha scritto per avere il numero della sua ragazza.
No, non ci credo. Che imbecille. Okay. Okay, please. This morning, I was here and I was embarrassed because nothing was working. Now, don't put yourself in the same situation. I remember in Hawaii, I was presenting at the American Association of Orthodontic meeting, not something. For some reason that I don't know, when I presented my first slide, instead of being all the slide, was only one quarter. It was not my fault.
And you miss Matteo.
No, that is something that, that happened, something that, Orantange, he was the chairman of Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and a good friend of mine. And he was the chair. And he remembered that, 10 years later, he came back to me and told me, because I saw that I was so crazy that I started doing something. For some reason, I fixed the computer. I don't know how. But make sure that your clip works, the microphone, and if you have any movie that works in the right way. The worst part is usually when they have a window, the movie is not in the presentation. So sometime when you go and you present, if you don't have your computer, you have to make sure that works. So my first idea is get a Mac. If you don't get a Mac, make sure that if you have a window, the movie is in the right place, otherwise it doesn't start. And then I see a lot of people saying, they click and the slide comes, another slide, no, there must be a movie, come back. They click and so make sure that doesn't happen. Technology has to be always tried before. Now, again, what I was telling you before, enthusiasm. If you trust on what you're doing, you are enthusiastic, and you make the people understand what you're doing. Don't keep the same tone. Change the tone. This for Italians is easy.
Yeah.
No problem.
Should be impossible there, right?
No, right. Now, it's very important that you emphasize some points with your hand, with the tone of your voice, and you de-emphasize some other. So it's not only that you have to get a point with the slide. You can also make something more important with the tone of the voice or with your gesture. Okay? And that is something that is very important. Overall, when you have a long presentation, if you have a short presentation, you can even rehearse that. When you have a long presentation, you have to be able to get the audience on your side. Again, and that is something that happens also with your patient. If you trust in what you're doing, the patient feels. If you are excited of your ideas, the audience gets your enthusiasm. And you have to,
I have a question
yes,
about this photo.
yes.
She's excited or she's going to kill herself?
She is making suicide.
She's going to run away from the conference.
Really, try. Okay, during this morning we were in the car and we were talking about the mental coach, right? And I didn't know what was a mental coach. And somebody explained me that it's a person that comes to you and make you so excited to do something that you go in the office and you do everything and you are really eager to do. Now, when you have a presentation, you really have to have a mentor coach. You have to be really excited about giving a presentation. You want to really do it. One of the best speaker I have ever seen is Björn Zachrisson. Björn Zachrisson is Swedish, Norwegian actually. Actually, Swedish that went to Norway. And before a presentation, he was like almost like an actor. He was just concentrating. He was not answering anybody. He told us when he was doing his presentation how to do a presentation. See, take out you don't have to have anything in your pocket. Anything you don't have to have your phone. You have to be
Stanislav, you have to be what you want.
Yeah. There you
I don't understand. You don't
È il metodo Stanislavski, devi essere quello che dici.
And then he will say that you have to be a little bit toward the audience, not in the back. You have to lie in front of the audience. You have to find somebody, some face that you like, and what's the face that you like. Because he was really afraid of giving a presentation. You wouldn't believe, but he was afraid. And then he was using the rule of the 3SW. So when you give a presentation, somebody will like it, somebody won't. So what? So you cannot please everybody. So don't try to please everybody. Try to be convinced of what you're doing. Be enthusiastic. But everybody that is teaching how to present is telling you the same thing. Try to believe on what you're saying. Again, what I told you before, eye contact. Go across the room as I am saying, I'm doing now. Look at everybody if you can. If you have 1,000 people, you cannot. But, he said if you have a good big audience, Björn said, you find 2 or 3 people that you like and you watch them in order to have a good contact with the audience. Again, eye contact is very important. Very, very important. Again, it's a social thing. As I said, if you have eye contact, you keep them receptive. You keep a person receptive. If you don't have eye contact, the people don't get it. And the same is true for when you present a case to your patients. Again, something that body language is something that you cannot. It's difficult to lie with the body language. So the people get you. So if you are not prepared, or if you are not willing to give that presentation, or if you don't trust what you say, your body language is telling the people you lose them. You have to really to believe what you are saying. So in order to believe, you have to be prepared to rehearse. And if you do that, you get self-confident, you trust on what you're saying, and you can give the best of your presentation. So, number one, remember, nobody is born a good presenter. You can learn. So in order to learn how to present, be effective, have a structured presentation, study how to present. You have to know what you're saying. Be structured. And don't forget. You have to tell a story. You have to bring the story from the beginning to the end. You cannot be, okay, this is my material. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work for you because that means that you didn't understand what you're presenting. It doesn't work for the audience because they don't understand what you're saying. So, now, just to recap, make sure that you learn, study, get the point, understand how to present, rehearse, talk to your friend, and then make the presentation. Okay? Any questions?
You showed us how to be a good presentator, how to do passionate. You showed us how to be passionate about presentation.
Okay, Ines, again,
No, I mean,
I don't want you to focus too much on how to present.
what to
The
present.
goal of the work that you're gonna do this afternoon is teamwork. Be critical and read the paper. Take the main message. Understand the main question. Get the middle slide. And trying to be ready to criticize the paper, criticize yourself, and try to work on team. So you have to get the take-home message of the paper, the main idea of the paper. That is the most important. I want you to get the main idea of the paper. I want to learn how to work in team. I want you to learn how to present something. I want you to learn how to divide the job, because you're going to be divided in groups. So in your group, you're going to have 20 minutes presentation. So if you are 3, it's going to be 7 minutes, 7 minutes each. If you are 2, it's going to be 10 minutes each. You have to divide that. Okay? Now, you're going to be, the group are made in a random way, you know that. I'm going to show you the way Sabrina made the groups. And that is something that you have to learn to. Because when you do a research, the only thing that you have to learn is randomization, which is the most important thing. It's one of the things that avoid bias. Okay? So we have to learn how to randomize. And then it's something that we're gonna do together. Now, before you go, because Gaia has already eaten, but all the other people probably want to eat something. Before you go, I'm gonna give you some copy because I made it and I want you to have one of each. So make sure that you don't throw it away. Okay? Keep it with you and come. If we come here, come every time. Otherwise, we're gonna use this. Somebody can